Then I went right down here to Anchor Tattoo in Ballard and got this.
It's a love that started long ago for James Norville. Before he could even talk, it was all about trains. He was born into a railroad family, built this in his backyard.
2,000-foot long, inch-and-a-half scale railroad that you could ride on.
And he became a third-generation engineer.
Yep.
He worked for BNSF for 13 years until he was fired in August 2015.
It's like looking at an ex-girlfriend or something.
He's looking at the train that changed everything, Locomotive 2339. What happened is now the focus of a federal lawsuit Norville has filed against his old employer. He claims during a night shift he was at the controls for the purpose of bringing 22 freight cars from one yard to another in Portland.
When I was applying the independent brake, I had absolutely nothing.
He says he knew loaded hazardous tank cars were at the bottom of the yard.
Some of the most volatile fluids you can possibly put in tanks, avgas, jet fuel, and in such large quantities that I felt like any sort of explosion or anything could have caused a pretty good sized chain reaction that would have left a hole in North Portland.
So he threw the throttle into reverse.
It's basically like throwing it in reverse and giving her the gas to make it stop. And I made it stop.
Doing that damaged the locomotive, and BNSF eventually fired him for failing to safely operate a train.
When I talked to Warren about it and got a larger picture for what was really going on, then I figured that maybe I might have a case.
He says he talked to Warren Stout, a BNSF machinist who claims there have been past issues with Locomotive 2339, and in general feels there has been Band-Aid fixes and a decline in regular maintenance.
A BNSF spokesperson said no to an on-camera interview, but the railway company did file this 11-page document in federal court denying Norville's allegations.
He points back to Portland.
So I figured everything was going to go that way.
In these pages, BNSF states they have extensive safety protocols, procedures, and policies to ensure the safe operation of trains. But Norville says he experienced something different.
This is not my fault here. This is something that you guys have created and put me in this situation. And luckily for you, I was able to take action and not create a larger catastrophe.
He plans to soon make his case in federal court. In Seattle, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.